What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Saturday, January 23rd. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. I'm doing these picks early in the morning so I can get this video out so you have time to watch it. But a lot of things happen before the games start with injury news and COVID updates. So we've just created a live before lock injury and COVID update news article that we have posted right when you log into your draft dashboard. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the draft dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Ben Simmons from the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Detroit Pistons, who have the 7th worst defense overall and they're middle of the pack defending opposing point guards. Ben Simmons has averaged 38.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. He scored 42, 36, and 40 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 35, 33, and 36 minutes. He's projected at 39.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's $7,900 FanDuel salary and $300 more on DraftKings. So I like Ben Simmons here versus the Detroit Pistons. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Wayne Ellington from the Detroit Pistons playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Wayne Ellington has averaged 16 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 22 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. But take a look at his last 3 games. He scored 24, 22, and 27 fantasy points, playing 32, 33, and 27 minutes. He's projected at 24 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6.2 times value. He's $3,900 FanDuel salary and 100 less on DraftKings. So I think he makes a fantastic value play here tonight. Great matchup, playing a bunch of minutes. He's been productive, super low salary. So I like Wayne Ellington here versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I got another value play for you. I like Jayson Tatum from the Houston Rockets playing the Dallas Mavericks, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing small forwards, but Jayson Tatum has averaged 20.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. He scored 35, 14, and 20 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 32, 37, and 30 minutes. He's projected at 23.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.9 times value. He's $4,000 FanDuel salary and 1,000 more on DraftKings. So I like that FanDuel price. Probably more of a FanDuel value play for me, but I like Jayson Tatum here versus the Dallas Mavericks. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. Another value play for you. I like Thaddeus Young from the Chicago Bulls playing the LA Lakers, who have a good defense overall, but they give up the second most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Thaddeus Young has averaged 22.3 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 24 minutes per game with a 19% usage rate. He scored 27, 29, and 34 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 24, 25, and 19 minutes. He's projected at 21.3 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 5.6 times value because he's only $3,800 FanDuel salary, but he is $800 more on DraftKings, so probably more of a FanDuel value play for me, but you can still play him on DraftKings. He's been scoring almost 30 fantasy points a game for the last 3 games, so he can hit value on DraftKings, even at the $4,600 DraftKings salary price. But Vegas thinks there's going to be 228.5 points scored in this game, so I like Thaddeus Young here versus the LA Lakers. The other power forward that I like is Zion Williamson from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have the second worst defense overall, and they're middle of the pack defending opposing power forwards. Zion Williamson has averaged 37 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 29% usage rate. He scored 33, 44, and 39 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 34, 35, and 35 minutes. He's projected at 38.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.9 times value. He's $7,900 FanDuel salary and $300 less on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 223 points scored in this game, so I like Zion Williamson here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay, moving on to the center position. So if Christian Wood is out again tonight, even if he's not out, I think this might still be a good play, although his salary's come up a bit now. I like DeMarcus Cousins from the Houston Rockets playing the Dallas Mavericks, who have a good defense overall, but they're middle of the pack defending opposing centers. DeMarcus Cousins has averaged 20.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 16 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. So with Christian Wood out, he scored 35 fantasy points in 32 minutes last game with a 26% usage rate. He's a point per minute monster, and he's projected at 28 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. He's $4,900 FanDuel salary and $200 more on DraftKings. So I like DeMarcus Cousins here versus the Dallas Mavericks. And the other center that I like here tonight is James Wiseman from the Golden State Warriors playing the Utah Jazz, who have a good defense overall, and they give up the 12th most fantasy points to opposing centers. James Wiseman has averaged 23.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 21 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. He scored 30 and 33 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 24 and 25 minutes. He's projected at 29 fantasy points here tonight. That's 6 times value. He's $4,800 FanDuel salary and $400 more on DraftKings. Vegas thinks there's going to be 225 points scored in this game, so I like James Wiseman here versus the Utah Jazz. The other center that I like is Steven Adams from the New Orleans Pelicans playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have the second worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing centers. Steven Adams has averaged 28.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. He scored 33, 20, and 34 minutes in the past 3 games, playing 30, 23, and 31 minutes. He's projected at 28.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. He's 5,400 FanDuel salary and 700 more on DraftKings. So I like that FanDuel price. Vegas thinks there's going to be 223 points scored in this game. Fantastic matchup. So I like Steven Adams here versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.